Hello and welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 4 North American Division. Elfish Guy, 4 more maps coming up for everyone today. Going to be starting off with Splyce up against NRG, and then Winter Fox will be taking on Splyce.
Yeah, lots of Splyce games coming out today, so I hope everyone's
Splyce Central here.
wanting to watch some Splyce games, because that's pretty much what we've got for them. NRG Splyce to start us off here. I think this one's going to be relatively close. It could potentially go the way of NRG with the 2-0. They are looking a little bit stronger throughout the season so far, but definitely Splyce, NRG is not the strongest of opponents that they're going to face. So maybe if someone like Machine Guns may be firing here for Splyce, there is an opportunity, something like that.
Machine
Well, I didn't
Guns.
mean to do that, but
Of course you didn't, Elfish Guy. Of course you did.
I wouldn't do that.
All right, let's take a look at our schedule for today. As we said, NRG versus Splyce is our first matchup. They'll be starting off on Cbble, picked by NRG, then over to Overpass, which is the Splyce pick. We'll be changing it up just a little bit, Elfish Guy, and we'll be seeing Overpass again, with Splyce going up against the Aussies. The Aussies in Winter Fox, and then we'll be finishing the day off on Mirage. So 50% of games will be pretty similar. I don't know if the outcomes will be similar, though.
It's hard to say. I mean, when we kind of look across to the Winter Fox Splyce matchup, that one can kind of go either way as well, because obviously Winter Fox, they're not the most consistent of teams. If they show up today, they're going to make life really difficult for Splyce, but sometimes we see a Winter Fox show up that's not particularly great, so that one remains to be seen for me here. But focusing back in on the first matchup, Splyce, I think they're going to have to really step up here against NRG. We haven't seen them have the greatest of times throughout the season so far. 3 wins, 15 losses overall, so there's definitely some room for improvement for them. Machine Gun, he needs to step up. We've seen Davey looking pretty good as well for Splyce throughout the season, but I mean, really there's not huge takeaways for Splyce, so I think across the board, pretty much all of them are going to have a good game here.
Yeah, Splyce hasn't had the best of seasons so far. Sitting on like 3 wins, 15 losses, of course, down towards the bottom end of the leaderboard right now. NRG, on the other hand, they're not going too bad, but they're not necessarily as consistent as some of the other opponents that Splyce have gone up against so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. 13-7 for NRG at the moment, and they're looking not so bad, actually, sitting in that 5th position. So I think they're going to be pretty happy with how things are going there. Having a look at their roster there, there's a lot of players on there that can really step up. Peter has been looking pretty good with the AWP there for NRG. Tabson, we've seen him go huge a couple of times, and especially on Overpass, that seems to be a home ground sort of for him. And I guess they're versing Splyce here on Overpass, and one time, when he was up against the United, dropped something like 40, which I think might be a little bit off the cards here against Splyce.
Well,
but,
yeah.
Who knows?
You never know. As you said, 3 wins, 15 for Splyce. 13 wins, 7 is NRG's wins and losses right now. And it's looking a little bit better than it is for Splyce. They certainly seem to like Overpass. Perhaps Winter Fox will be taking a look at this Overpass map as well.
I'd imagine
just to see how they play, following it straight up
Yeah.
onto the same map, ready to go.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think it's probably not going to be a bad situation for Winter Fox there on Overpass. It is a map which, they haven't had the greatest of successes on, but it's definitely not a map which they're poor at. They're sort of like 50-50 on Overpass at the moment, whereas Splyce, when we look at them on Overpass, they haven't actually won it so far. So that's going to be a little difficult for them.
They've got 2 chances tonight, Elfish Guy.
They do.
2 chances going to give it a go. They've been playing it before. They played it, 4 times
4
or something
times,
as well? So we'll see.
But I mean, I guess for NRG as well, it's not like it's the best of maps. They're not super comfortable on Overpass either, so I can, see the sense there in the pick from Overpass from Splyce, where they're trying to get onto a map which NRG is not particularly comfortable on. As for Cbble, at the moment, NRG, they're not looking too bad on Cbble, about 50-50 again, that sort of realm, and for Splyce, Cobble's really not a map that they enjoy either. But to be fair, I mean, there's not a huge amount of maps that you can enjoy when you're at a 3-15 win-loss ratio. So,
yeah, well, that's it, right?
I guess statistically speaking, most of the maps, when you look at them for Splyce, are not going to look too great.
Well, you've won like, what, 1 in 6 of the games you played.
Yeah.
There's only so many maps we're going to have a particularly good win-loss rating on. So I guess we will have to see. Ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to head straight into game number 1 of Splyce up against NRG.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal. This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest race. Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back to our broadcast of the ESL Pro League North American Division. Starting off today with NRG up against Splyce. Elfish Guy, what's your prediction before we jump into this game?
It's hard for me to say a 2-0, but it's also hard to say a 1-1. I think I'm going to go 2-0
Yeah.
hit NRG. I think they'll be able to pull it through.
I would probably sway towards the exact same result. So
Okay.
I'm probably going to suggest a 2-0 to NRG, but I am, of course, as usual, open to being incorrect. Splyce, prove me wrong. I'd love to see them go up to 4 or 5 wins. That would be good. That would be good. I guess we're getting to the end of the season, right? There's probably not too much they can do from this point, but they'll be throwing everything into it. Guys and girls, it's time to head into our pistol round. We're starting off on Cbble. Let's get into the action.
Alrighty, well, Splyce starting off on the T side, so they've decided to go for just a relatively regular buy here, the pistols with the armor and a bit of smoke on one player, but really across the board, it's a relatively standard setup here for the CTs. NRG, they do only have one player over towards the A-bomb site, but they shouldn't have too much difficulty in that department. Splyce looking like they want to head over towards B. at least for now. And Tabson, he's going to get dropped down relatively low and does get taken out in the end there by Crucial. And now Splyce have a great opportunity to make their way into that B bomb site. Legia are going to have to hold the majority of this off. In the end, B is going to go down, and this is looking great for Splyce. Arya will take a USP there. And, well, I mean, across the board, it seems like Splyce just rolling across this B bomb site, and now it's just Legia to try and hold off this pistol rush, but it's not going to happen. Abe will be able to take him down. And Splyce, they pick up the first pistol round. Good start.
Yeah, it certainly was. Abe finding 3 frags as well. So, look, that's a pretty good start. I don't know what more you could want. I guess I don't think they got the bomb down. However, other than that, I think they just got the frags.
They did, no.
So, still able to buy into this round. 3 UMPs, a MAC-10, and that AK-47 onto machine guns. NRG, on the other hand, you see Fugly there. He's going to grab some armor along with Tabson. The rest of them will be buying up pistols only. So, looks like they're going to stack 4 to begin with over towards the B site. That's you see a lot of B play. Though I'm a bit of a fan here of pushing towards A as Splyce. They've got that weapon advantage. And of course, it's a little bit easier to push through here with that utility as well. You can just flash down from water and things like that and normally give yourself a bit of safe space to push through. A minute 10 on the clock, and well, they're 1 player up now. Machine Gun's taking a bit of damage, but still plenty of time to work with here for Splyce.
Yeah, I don't really mind that NRG have kind of invested a little bit into this one. I think probably they could have gone for a few more utilities, but really losing Peter so early on, they weren't able to really do anything about it. There was no trade available, so I didn't really like the position that he was holding. See what Legia can do, and he finds 2 with the Deagle. Crucial and Aya going down, and now maybe things are potentially going to start cooking here for NRG. 3 versus 3, and Legia has managed to find a UMP. Unfortunately, he's not one of the players with the armor there, but B is going to find machine gun. Fugly picks up Basilian, and Legia closes out Abe in the end. So a great eco, or well, sort of like a half force buy from NRG. They brought a little bit of armor, a little bit of utility, but
yeah,
they definitely have enough to buy back into this one now.
That Deagle can be such a powerful weapon as well. In the right hands, we saw Legia there. He just I don't know, man. Yeah. Just smashed him. Just absolutely. Wrecked. 2 shots, wrecked. Like, that's pretty much the definition of wrecked like that. Like, he's just way too strong. And to be fair, I think he got his team that round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously a few of the other NRG players were able to chime in with some kills, but he certainly was the one that really swung it back in their favor after losing that initial frag. And Splyce, they just collapsed there already. And that again, that's just a difficulty that Splyce is going to have to face here, because, you know, that's a round where you really should be picking up the victory there. And if they're letting those ones slip already, that's really a bit of a worrying sign here up against NRG.
Yeah, it's definitely not great. It wasn't even the weapon advantage. They had a ton of utility. They had the armor. They had everything going their way. And at the end of the day, it just did not work out for them. This time, though, armor, Tech 9s, P250s, smoke and flash grenades is what they're going to try and use to get out onto this B site. We can see 4 players coming out for the CTs. Molly's going to come down right as that smoke was going to come out of his hands, and, well, going to drop him down to half-life as well. You see Peter here. He's seen that there's no one over at the A site, and for a moment, he's going to rotate back as Cillion tries to push over the top, but B right there with the MAC-10 finds him out.
Look at how low Splyce is already, and they haven't even been able to push into the site. That's a good shot, though, from A. Picks up B. But, I mean, they're going to be running into all of the rifles here and all the SMGs as well, but primarily the rifles here are going to be the issue for Splyce. They do have armor, so maybe they can overwhelm the SMGs here. But in the end, Tabson, I mean, you can't do anything about that for Aya. Getting caught with the back turned. And it's just machine gun and Crucial. Very low on HP. I don't think they're going to be able to find anything else in this round here.
No, not at all. 50 seconds on the clock. Still heaps of time. Heaps of time to die here, Elfish Guy. And to throw away, well, what they have left to work with, perhaps heading into next round. Of course, that bomb dropped on the ground over here on the B site. There's nothing that I would expect that Splyce could do. And we can see Legia here. He's, I don't know, man. He's just here ready to go. If they push back towards A,
well, NRG know that they've got the control of the bomb here at the moment. So there's really only one direction that Splyce is going to be headed, and that's towards the B bomb site. So covering off all these angles, NRG. Although Legia is, well, I was going to say potentially going to be caught off guard there, but he's actually too quick on the draw. Crucial goes down, and another very nice round coming out for NRG. They save both their rifles through that one, as well as the UMP. So Starting to get that bank rolling just a little bit, and this time it should be a pretty much full eco coming out for Splyce after the force in the last round.
Yeah, not much to expect from them here heading into round number 4. It's such a different story to what we expected after what was, to be fair, a pretty good round number 1 here, Alfish Guy. The buy coming out from NRG, to be fair, not that great, but up against these unarmored targets, the MP9, the Mag 7,
Great
well,
stuff.
doesn't even matter. Legia just goes strong there, picks up the triple.
I'm going to want to retrieve that M4. They will as well. Peter picks that one up. So, Splyce, well, they pretty much, obviously, not too keen on that round. Just charging straight into the A-bomb site and trying to get it over and done with. This time, though, it's going to be the full buy coming out from Splyce, and we do see an AWP go into the hands of Peter as well, so that's dangerous now for Splyce. They need to be aware of that. Godby's still running away with the Mag 7. Tabson still with the UMP there as well, so maybe Splyce, you know, that there are some weaknesses in this hold here for NRG if they can identify where those two weapons are holding.
We're going to see Peter, he pushed all the way up along catwalk there at A site with the AWP, and well, he can hear players there, but does not want to get caught out right now. The rotation going to come back out here from NRG as Splyce rushes onto the site. Crucial finds Legia. Peter goes down as well. And now it's 3 on 5. Splyce with the player advantage. They'll get the bomb down. And I don't know if there's all that much NRG can do here, Elfish Guy.
I don't think you can go for the retake here, especially considering one of your players has a Mag 7 in their hands. That's not going to be useful at all. And to be fair there for NRG, I think there was some mistakes made. Peter pushing up very aggressively on his own and getting overwhelmed. If he was going to be so aggressive, he probably needed someone there to trade him out or at least throw a flash in there so that he could get out alive, but wasn't the case. And Splyce, they pick up a free AWP off the back of that. Arya taking that one away in this round. And I mean, Splyce as well, they kind of just overwhelmed that bomb site, and Tabson trying to chase down some weapons there because he only had the UMP, I suppose. He isn't going to have much luck. Splyce looking very good in that gun round there, but, I mean, NRG, I think they can adapt off that pretty quickly. It's not like the mistakes that were made were necessarily difficult ones to fix.
Yeah, well, that's
probably not
it.
going to afford an AWP into this round either.
Don't push an AWP by itself, I suppose. Yeah, well, going to be buying up here by the looks of it. Peter, let's see what he decides to do with the AWP this time around.
He's only got regular armor. We're going to be seeing him head again towards that A-long area, but this time Legia has pushed up a little bit as well. He's hanging around in that connector. So he does have a little bit of backup this time, and Splyce can have some difficulty getting into the bomb sites this time.
Splyce has pushed towards B and B halls here. You can see just trying to get out, holding one, coming back a little bit slowly. That's going to be Aria, but for now, only one on the A side for NRG. Oh, sorry, 2 even as they just stand on top of each other there, but it will be 1 now as Peter rotates around with that AWP over to B. 1 minute on the clock, and Splyce has used, to be fair, quite a bit of time and not achieved anything as of yet. Peter, he's going to hold back at the moment out towards tree, and not a bad spot to find a couple of frags if they push on quickly. 45 remains, and they're using up a ton of utility to get through. Look at that. God, be straight away. Mag 7 finds that kill.
Oh, he gets
Finds
another
2.
one as well. And I mean, that's sort of the weakness in the defense really for NRG there. But B's made great use of that Mag 7. Crucial does manage to take out Tabson, but there you go, another one coming out for Peter. So overall, NRG looking pretty good in this one. Crucial really stepping up here for Splyce though, and now a 2 versus 1. He's got 3 kills already. He's going to have to ace it to win this round. And I mean, it is a tough ask here up against Godby and Legia, but the way he's been AWPing so far, it's potential. It's definitely a potential.
It certainly is. Shoots into mid there, misses the shot. There's no one in vision, but
Yeah, there's not really much.
Godby going to try and push forward here. He's got probably an idea of exactly where Crucial is. Crucial has 3 frags and 1 flashbang. So
He's
can
gonna
he
have to
make
hit
it
something.
5?
He'll have to hit something crazy here because he's stuck here in Hut and there's not much that he can do about it, but he does manage to take down oh! And he gets Godby as well! Well, there you go. Speechless.
I'm not, just not even anything. I don't. Should not have happened. Should not have happened.
It shouldn't have gotten to that point,
Should
to be
not have
fair.
happened.
But great stuff from Crucial. And I mean, if your opponent's going to give you that opportunity, then of course you're going to take it. And this time again, NRG going to be sort of buying into this round. It won't be a great buy again. A Mag 7 UMP coming out. another time here for NRG, and they do have some utility lacking on God B as well. So, yeah, overall, NRG starting to scramble for cash a little bit, and Splyce, they're just looking so good with that full buy and crucial just that last round.
Considering how Splyce threw away round number 2, they brought it back with 3 apiece here, and they've got a pretty reasonable buy, certainly a better buy than NRG does. They shouldn't have even won that round. It should not have happened, but crucial, really. Playing some amazing CS. Abe going to find Tabson through the smoke, and it looks like they're going to try and push A. Only Abe holding towards the B site right now, trying to keep as many players over there as he can. Peter, he's going to even up the score, and he certainly needs to start doing something with that AWP. He's bought it a few times now, Fish Guy, and hasn't, to be fair, done all that much with it.
Yeah, he's got 1 or 2 frags, but really not hugely impactful stuff like what we're used to seeing from him here for NRG. He tends to be one of those high fraggers really for this lineup, but at this point, not quite yet having as much luck. And Godby again trying to hold on to drop with the Mag 7. This time, though, won't work out too well for him, and Splyce are going to make their way into the B bomb site. Peter gets forced out by the smoke and that spam, and I think NRG here are just content to try and save their weapons. They're pretty sure that they're not going to be able to retake against 4, and, well, I'd say that's probably not a bad idea, considering the way their economy is looking at the moment.
Yeah, certainly not looking all that great, and Splyce going to find themselves in the lead once again. They were in the lead after round 1, which is sometimes 50-50, though. To be fair, it was a good pistol round. They started throwing the game away, but from here, it's just looking a little bit better. NRG, he said, well, they're going to, they should be able to adapt to this quickly, but it doesn't feel like they're adapting at all here, Elfish Guy. That, as soon as Splyce got these weapons in their hand, they got their gun rounds going. They've been on a roll, and I guess you could say, well, Crucial shouldn't have been able to get 5 kills with the AWP. He shouldn't have been able to get that bomb plant down.
That was sort of the tipping point here at the moment, really. That's where Splyce has been able to come back into this one. And NRG, ever since that point, have had really substandard buys. And I mean, across the board, they haven't had the greatest of buys. God B, he's probably content to be going away with this Mag 7 because he's holding drop, but it still doesn't mean, that it's necessarily the greatest of weapons in the world. So NRG, again, going to be investing in that AWP, and they're really putting the AWP in the hands of Peter quite a lot, and he hasn't delivered just yet. He's certainly been outplayed, I suppose, by Crucial, who's looked a whole lot better. For now, NRG, they've just got, 1 towards the B, a couple in towards connector there, and now we're starting to see a bit of a rotate coming in towards the B site from NRG, but 2 over towards A. These B players will have to step up so that there's enough time for those rotators to come across, and this Molotov should be good.
Nope.
Well, nope, right into the smoke.
Right into the smoke. Who would have thunk it was there? But Tabson, as the flashbang subside, is in a good spot, but Aria here should be able to get a bomb plant down. Machine gun has been picked up. Fugly takes out Aria, the bomb planter. And now 3 players remain for Splyce. They're spread out, 1 out towards drop, 2 out towards platform. They've got to try and hold these guys back. 8 finds 1. Tabson trades it back. It's now a 4-on-2. Crucial. What can he do? He finds Tabson. 2v3. They're going to play this out together, Elfish Guy. They're holding a similar line. If they trade 1, well, they're not going to be able to. Fugly picks up both, grabs the AK, and they'll grab the defuse as well. NRG finds themselves slowly getting back into this game 4-all, and that was a crucial round. They needed to win it.
Yeah, I mean, for Splyce there, I think there was a Molotov that got thrown towards Hut just a little bit too late. And if that had been a little bit earlier, it would have forced the player in Hut out. Obviously, the bomb planter got taken down straight away by the player in that position. So maybe just a little bit of mistiming there from Splyce. Potentially could have cost them the round, but, they do have another opportunity here to really bite back, and well, they're going to put that AWP in the hands once again of Crucial, and why not? He's looked so good so far. And it does seem like the B side might be on the cards again for the T side. Probably not too surprising, I think, for the majority of us.
No, not at all. We can see these buys relatively similar in value. Just got B holding drop with the Mag 7. He seems to enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
He's had a little bit of success, but it hasn't been like a resounding success.
It's kind of one of the few spots in the game that you can really pretty much always hold with a shotgun. That, and I guess maybe broken wall or something like that, but there doesn't tend to be too many places where you can just essentially take a shotgun into every single round.
Yeah.
But Godby, you know, this is going to help out the economy for NRG, and I suppose this is part of the reason why they've been able to force so many AWPs into the hands of Peter when they haven't been having the greatest of economy. It's because they've been sacrificing a bit of that money on Godby, and, well, I mean, to be fair, he hasn't been holding on to it too badly, and he's also been helped out there by Fugly, who picks up 2. So essentially, the Mag 7 at this point, unneeded.
That was actually a really good play, to be fair. That was exactly what they need to do. I was concerned that Godby might try and peek there, but it didn't end up being an issue at all. Tabson's found 2. Look at that. Splyce just falls apart between Fugly picking up 2 on drop and 2 coming out towards the end. They didn't even contend the site. So maybe NRG's just starting to work out a little bit of what Splyce is doing, starting to counteract some of these plays.
Well, it's just going to be Pistol Armor coming out here for Splyce. So, again, not a great round for them. And this time, NRG pushing up quite a lot. So, I'm a little bit worried here. Peter, if he gets overwhelmed by one of those Tech 9s, then something could be a little dangerous here for NRG. In the end, it's going to be Godby, though, to start off. He gets a 1-for-1, so probably not ideal. Picks up an AK. See what he can do with that weapon. But in the end, not too much.
No, not at all. 3 alive here left for Splyce. They're pushing out through stables right now. Let's follow out Asilion here. Surely he's going to get taken out. The last one alive does find Peter, but he's now in a 3v1. The bomb should go down. There we go. At least that is successful, and it's not, I suppose, a bad result, but the Flames force him out. Doesn't even end up dying to the rounds. Dies to the Molotov. And NRG picks up the round. 6-4 now the score.
Yeah.
Just starting to get a little bit of momentum here.
I don't think that was too bad for Splyce, though. They get the bomb down. They get a couple of kills. They only put a little bit of money into that round. So it's not going to be too disappointing for them. And this time, going to be buying back into this round. And a crucial, you know, we see the AWP in his hands again. But after that sort of one amazing round coming out from him, we haven't really seen that much, to be fair, coming out from him. So I think we're going to need to see him step up a little bit. 5
kills in one round. You can probably go, well, I just picked up 5 guys.
Yeah.
When everyone else gets it, you know, 3 or 4 frags in a round. We'll see how we go.
Oh, that looked very close to being a nice entry.
Look at that. Godby's so strong with that Mag 7 combination with his Molotov. Forces them back.
The Mag 7 did so much there.
Mate, he's forcing them back onto the side, onto the drop. They don't want to push out over the top.
No, it was a good play from Godby, that's for sure. Getting that kill obviously puts the player advantage there for NRG. Now they're going to be scrambling, Splyce for some more frags, and it feels like when Splyce don't get that initial frag, they sort of just get picked off one by one. And that's what we're seeing once again here coming out. So Splyce, in those disadvantaged positions, they just don't know really how to come back. I mean, Abe's going to win a 1v1 there against Godby, and he knows exactly where Fugly is. So now we're back to 3v3, and perhaps...
This is the exact opposite of what you were saying.
Yeah, it might be a bit of Cast a Curse.
Maybe. We'll see. Aria does find 1, but Tamsin trades him back. It's now 2v2. The bomb, though, it's nowhere near where it needs to be. And with Abe going down...
40 seconds left.
40 seconds left. What do you do here as crucial? You've got the AWP. You've got a ton of utility.
Well...
Maybe you just play for 1 pick. You assume they split the sites, perhaps?
You would pretty much assume that. So he's going to look for a 1v1 here, and if he can win that, then there's definitely a chance to obviously win the round if he gets the bomb down off the back of the plant. But it seems like Legia is going to actually give up control of this A-bomb site, and that might not necessarily be the worst of decisions either. It's going to allow NRG to retake the site 2v1. The bomb is going to go down there from Crucial. So now I guess it's in the hands of NRG here, really. If they play this one correctly, they'll come out with a round win. But we've already seen Crucial take advantage of a 2v1 situation and pull things off.
Yeah, let's see what Crucial can do. He saved it before, as you said. They've got a couple of flashes and a smoke, which have now all been used up. He's dropped back out towards Stables. And well, doesn't even play it. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. The bomb got defused. Did he take 1 shot and then got picked up?
I don't think he even took a shot. Did you hear a shot?
I didn't hear one, but I'm just assuming that surely he must have. He must have at least made the effort. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. I think he got shot from the side, and then he was looking at the bomb diffuser, and then he got shot from the side and just wasn't able to get the flick across in time. But in the end, NRG pick up the round. And this time, Splyce not going to be able to afford the AWP into this one. So 5 rifles set up. Going into this one once again. And they're going to play a little bit slower this time. Just setting up around, well, just outside of T-spawn. got one player in the castle as well. Fugly, he's playing very aggressive here. Gob B has spotted up that player and dropped, so let's see if Fugly's going to push in there, but no, Gob B, he picks it up in the end with the Mag 7. There's a good shot from Peter as well, this time managing to hit that shot on long. And Splyce again, they just have that player disadvantage. Fugly's getting so much information here as well. He'll surely pick up a free kill, which he does, and looks for the second. Not quite able to get that one. In the end, is going to go down to Asilian, who sprays through the smoke and picks up Legia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give him that one.
We'll go with that.
It's 3v2 here. Splyce with less than a minute to work with. They're going to rotate by the looks of it back towards this B site. They know there's a couple of players over towards A. They know they just picked one up, just heading out of B halls. And they're hoping that they might be able to find their way over here, up the back of the site here. We can see Gob B, he's traded out his Mag 7 for an AK, just playing that longer range, which is definitely the smart call. Just see how this play comes out. They've got a little bit of utility, but they're not checking when they need to check. Gob B will go down, but how long will it take Asilion here to get through and try and plant the bomb? Running out of time, should be able to get it down, but needs to make the most of it. Fortunately for him, the last two remaining players here from NRG are taking their time to split up, boost one up into drop there, and try and split their way onto this side.
It's not a bad position here for Asilian actually post-plant. He'll be able to take a 1v1 as that player pushes out from drop, or maybe he gets caught off by the side here from Tabs and needs to be making sure that he's checking the doors, and he's going to spot out Peter. He does pick that one up, but there's a good trade from Tabs, and he didn't know where that second player was coming from, and in the end, Asilian did his best, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And again, it's going to be another round on the board for NRG, so Splyce really starting to falter now. Let NRG get to probably a pass score now on that CT side. Anything more from here for the CTs is going to be a real bonus.
There have been a couple of good rounds coming out from Splyce, but just so many rounds where it doesn't even look like they were ever in the game.
Yeah. But I mean, like those good rounds for Splyce have come off the back of individual performances, not necessarily the whole team, performing well together.
Yeah.
Like, there haven't been any crazy executions that have worked out or anything like that.
I understand what you're saying. We're not seeing any sort of sick strats coming out from them. Well, Asilion will find the first frag of the round here. Once again, Gob B holding drop. He's used his Molotov. What can he do with this Mag 7? Should they choose to push one out over the top of him? But to be fair, they really haven't been able to get his number at all. They've been struggling to do anything. And Fugly just straight through the smoke. He's like, let's give this one a burl. Finds a machine gun, and now it's back to a 4v4. They push into the site. Fugly finds one more. Can he get a third? He does. Legia gets one. Fugly goes down, but Peter cleans them up. 9 and 4 now the score, Elfish Guy. And to me, it feels like from here on out, NRG has this half.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Splyce is coming back into this one. It's going to be just a pistol armor by the looks of things here for Splyce, and NRG should be taking full advantage of that, going 10 and 4 up. And I mean, it's definitely looking like we're heading in the direction of an 11-4 at the moment, because NRG, this sort of train has not stopped rolling at all.
Mate, we're on Cbble.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no trains in Cbble. They didn't have trains yet.
Well,
look at this rush coming out from the guys. They push through, straight through. Fires through Asilion there. Yeah, right into Legia.
See your machine gun. And now 3 versus 4 here, and well, Splyce, they get an AK out of that, but they lose 2 players. I don't know if that's worth. See what Crucial can do with it. Maybe he can make it worth. They're going to head over towards the B bomb site here. Fugly and Gob B, by the looks of things. No, Fugly and Tamsin going to be rotating over there, and this grenade is potentially going to do some work. Drops Crucial down to 17, so a good grenade coming out there as well from the CT side. But that's a good split coming out from the Ts. Fugly is going to pick that one up, though. There's Tamsin and Fugly finding one apiece. And saying that, though, the Ts have picked up a couple of kills for their own. And Crucial, he'll try and get the bomb down here. It's not an easy situation for him to win with only 17 HP and no utilities.
Yeah, he should go down here, but they've done well, to be fair, to get as far as they did get that bomb plant down. They took out 3 plants here from NRG. But at the end of the day, it's going to be 10 and 4 heading into the last round of the half. I just want to say that I think that Gob B's actually been playing this half of CT very, very well. The way he's been holding drop, he's He's been moving across. You can see he's only sitting on 9 frags, but
He's not the
I
one
think
that needs to frag. For
well, that's
NRG.
it, right? He just has to hold his point,
Yeah.
and he's been holding it so well that they've actually stopped pushing towards him.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they did utilize that drop room quite a lot early on, but they have sort of disappeared from that position of the map now. And I think Fugly as well has had a part to play in that drop room hold really for NRG here as well. But definitely Splyce are not too keen on that position. And, well, it's going to be a peek up towards the B plat from NRG and drops Crucial down to 31 HP. Tabson here taking away the second orb. Isn't going to have much luck jumping up on the boxes. And now we're going to see Splyce make their way out on towards the site. Machine Gun does take down Tabson, but Cbble once again coming up big in that drop room with the Mag 7 is going to find Ocillion. It's 4 versus 4 now. Splyce, they're very low on HP, or at least a few of them are, and they still haven't got control of that B bomb site. The bomb in no position to get planted, and B's going to find another kill in this round. He's been using the Molotovs to perfection so far. Abe finally trading one out, and the bomb looks like it'll go down, but Fugly picks up Abe, and 2 versus 3, again a tough situation for the T's to hold this one off. It's just Crucial with that AWP. 1 versus 2. I don't think he's going to be able to pull this one off.
Every frag that Cbble has gotten so far has been so disrespectful.
That was a little bit too much from Cbble. He really didn't need to be pushing like that. And now he's really allowed Splyce the opportunity to close this one out 10-5 if Fugly isn't able to pull this one off. Well, he does just in the end. But, I mean, look, Cbble pushing that AWP there. That wasn't the correct decision, but it doesn't haunt him too much.
He picked up 3. He's been playing drop very, very well. They locked off one of the main entries onto B side, and I think that's played actually a crucial role here in keeping this score 11-4. NRG going to take out the first half here up against Splyce. We're going to take a break and be back with all of the second half action.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal. This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest race. Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal.
He's going to get the 1 kill in that bomb coming onto the zone. FNX has to stay up. Oh, he gets the triple FNX. Oh my God, what a way to win that round. They don't have a smoke, so this orb is still. Oh, I love that.
Guys and girls, we're back into the action here, kicking it off on the second half between Splyce and NRG. NRG up 11-4. Splyce started off well, Elfish Guy. They got the pistol round, then they died. And then they found a gun round, and then they died. Yeah, so let's see. You know, this could be a really quick second half as well.
Yeah,
this is the start right here.
Machine Gun pushing out there on long, just on his own, gets completely cleaned up there. I think it was by Peter, and another kill goes the way of NRG. Finally, Abe's going to be able to pull one back for Splyce, but it's not been a great start overall. The A bomb site completely free for NRG. Machine Gun, I just don't know what he was doing, pushing out that like on his own. Sure, he gets a bit of information, but it was an easy kill in the end and puts the player advantage in the hands of NRG, and things have just spiraled out of control from there on out.
Well, that's it, right? You can play some matchmaking and say, hey, guys, I'm just getting info.
Yeah.
But all you're actually doing is dying.
Yeah, kind of.
And
Whoa!
Look at this.
Wow, what a shot from Peter.
At range with these Glocks, they actually did some serious damage here up against Splyce. Normally, it's the other way around, of course. Look at this. Aria on 4 frags. Machine Gun on 3 frags. It's really not how you want to be playing if you expect your team to hopefully win.
No, definitely not ideal here for Splyce. And Machine Gun, he's kind of one of the players that's supposed to be in there just essentially to frag, and at the moment he is not doing that. So Splyce really have some thinking to do here, probably in between the two maps. I mean, I don't think this one's going to be salvageable from this point on. Tabson going to get a bit of damage across there to Arya, and he's going to throw a grenade in here, which should do a bit to Abe.
Abe sitting there with the Mag 7. I don't know if he's up to the standards that GobB was, to be honest, Elfish Guy. And well, GobB already finding 2 there.
The answer is no.
Yeah. Straight away, they all go down. And this pistol armor is not going to work out for Splyce. Machine Gun, the last one left alive. Plenty of time to get this bomb plant down. They push them all the way out of the site. Machine Gun does find one. Fugly gets picked up, but should get traded back. And he will. 13-4 now the score. NRG getting closer and closer to the 16 rounds that they require to win this one. And to be fair, they're doing it in a convincing fashion. It's been easy peasy.
Yep. I didn't think it was going to be like this. I mean, I thought it would be a little bit closer, to be honest. But NRG have really come out here with a lot of good rounds. I mean, they've faltered a little bit early on in the piece, but that was sort of just out of individual performances from Splyce. And when NRG short up their mistakes, then they've been able to really pull this off quite easily. Fugly does get the trade there for Peter, and gets a couple more as well to boot. Tabson chiming in and finding 2 for himself as well. So, again, another good anti-eco coming out for NRG. They only lose 1 player this time, and it is going to be the buy into this round from Splyce, but their back is well and truly up against the wall. This is their one and only chance to come back into this.
And because they've had such poor rounds, when they forced in, it just fell apart, and last round they had to eco. You can see even this buy is not a very good buy.
There's no Molotovs here either. Like, it's going to be so tough to do a counter execute when those smokes and stuff come across from NRG. There's really nothing to hold them off. I mean, there's a couple of grenades, but really Splyce is going to have some difficulty holding onto their bomb sites here if NRG decides to go for that sort of execute strategy. Although, GobB just peeking. I don't know. Not really a fan of that. Crucial picks it up. Pretty easy kill in the end.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they can do with that AWP here. Crucial. He did take a little bit of damage, but still, the frag was definitely worth it. Legia takes out Abe, unable to hold drop for the moment, and that's going to open up this B site should they choose to push. It looks like the rotation is going to come back around towards B. Tabson, because they lost drop, Tabson just comes in, finds one towards B, flips around, finds one towards A. Aria finally sprays down and is successful. Tabson picked up. It's a 2v3, but Fugly, he's already on the side. He should be able to get these frags easily. And between the 3 of them, you would think that this round is also over.
Yeah, Legia's going to find that one there. And Fugly is going to go down, actually, to Machine Gun. This is where Machine Gun needs to step up, and he's not going to be able to do that. Peter, with the AWP, won't miss that one. 15 and a 4, and now Splyce, they'll be forced onto, well, a force buy. But it's really going to be a lackluster buy coming across. 2 Mag 7s coming out so far.
Look, can I just say that I don't think any buy with 2 Mag 7s is lackluster.
Yeah, I know you would say that, but you're probably the only one.
It's an exciting weapon, Elfish Guy.
Yeah,
it's an exciting weapon.
That doesn't make it good.
Maybe doesn't necessarily always get you the results that you want.
Well, let's see where they hold here. Machine Gun's holding the A site. Probably would have liked to have seen him with a UMP instead, but see what he can do with that Mag 7.
Yeah.
At the moment, he's not being challenged too much. NRG are just going to be working this one relatively slowly. And you don't really want to throw this one away, you know, just clean up the first map pretty easily.
Well, that's it. You don't want to get dragged back into map number 1 heading into the second map of the day.
Yeah.
And when you're so far ahead, you've had, you know, a really good second half of the first half, and now this second half has just been, you know, free sailing all the way through. There's been nothing in their way. 1 minute 5 remaining here for the guys from NRG to pick one of these two sides. We can see Machine Gun was holding out towards water, but it might be trying to split here onto the A site. Not a bad idea. Fugly does go down. No, they're going to pull back and head towards B. The frag, though, coming out from Peter onto Crucial. And now 3 remain for Splyce. 44 on the clock. They're coming back. They're going to, by the looks of things, Elfish Guy, rush onto this A site.
Yeah, not going to be a bad decision either. Splyce have only got a Cillian over in that direction, and if he doesn't manage to pick up a kill, well, he gets one. So, I mean, there's still something here for Splyce, but definitely it's going to have to be a pretty magical effort coming out from Abe and Arya here with just a Mag 7 and a Scout. Really not many utilities. No defuse kit either. And NRG, they're going to be denied, or at least Tabson will, but there is the trade out coming out. Legia picks up Abe, and it's 2 versus 1. Arya should go down in the end there. It's going to be God B to close it out. 16 on 4. There for NRG. Very convincing performance on Cobble.
Yeah, absolutely. A decisive victory heading over to NRG on Cobblestone. The next map is going to be Overpass. It's picked up by Splyce. It's their map. I don't know, though. Well, like, after that, what do you do? Clearly, they're just not even, like, I don't know. They didn't even seem... They had 2 good rounds in the whole game.
No, it wasn't a great performance coming out there from Splyce. And to go over onto Overpass, it is a poorer map, I suppose, for NRG. So maybe there's something in it here for Splyce, but we'll have to see.
Well, guys and girls, a quick game's a good game, some people might say. Let's hope that is not the case coming into map number 2. We'll take a break, and we will be back with Overpass.